it's Kylie Bertucci, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Australia, and I'm here today to show you how very quickly you can come up with these cards here using our Sale-a-Bration stamp set. It's this one here, lots of lavender. It's a beautiful stamp set that's free with every $90 purchase at the moment. Only March, it's our last month of Sale-a-Bration. So in Australia, it's $90 purchase, you get this free. And the sentiment for you comes from the Happy Wishes Sale-a-Bration stamp set. And that's free with every $180 order, which is awesome to get some freebies because you still get the products that you've purchased plus those stamp sets for free. So what I thought I would do today, because I've done the powder pink and the smoky slate, so I thought I would do something a little bit out of my comfort zone. It's not a colour that I use very often. In fact, I don't know the last time I've used this colour. Wisteria Wonder. How long has it been since you have used this colour? I thought it would be perfect with this stamp set. Beautiful, beautiful lavender, needs a beautiful lavender colour. So let's bring in our cardstock. I've cut an A4 piece of cardstock in half at 10.5. Sorry for all those inches peeps out there. I'm just doing metric today. And I'm going to fold that in half and use my bone folder, of course, to get a nice, beautiful, crisp edge. So that's my base. Now I'm going to stamp that using my Wisteria Wonder ink and stamp it with the lavender stamp set. So I'll come in here, make sure that there's plenty of ink on this. I stamped it before and there was a big hole missing from the middle. Typical. So I'll stamp that here. I mean, it really doesn't matter where you put these, but I've just done it around the outside. Just stamping in there. You can do it lighter if you want. Use Versamark or even stamp on your grid paper before you stamp again. And that gives it a different look altogether. This one I'll come in. It's a little bit missing from that one. And I think my Wisteria Wonder has been very unloved. Look at my peeling skin from our vacation. From the holidays, we've just been on a cruise and I'm getting my tan that's just fading away already. So that's stamped on the outside. So very simple background. But again, as I said, you can come in again, ink it up, stamp it off, and then just do some lighter ones in here if you wanted to. So just really subtle sort of shading. Completely up to you how you want to do it. I'll come in this side. And it just gives it another look altogether. There we go. So let's stamp on, I've got Whisper White, the Wisteria Wonder, and Smoky Slate. That's how I'm going to layer these 3 layers that you can see on the card. So let's do that. We'll stamp on the Whisper White here. Ink that right up. Now I love using my grid paper because it sort of helps me to line everything up. Can you see it on there? Yes, you can. So line it up sort of just towards the edge of the cardstock. I prefer not to pre-cut it to size. I feel like I have more room to play with if I cut it afterwards. So once I've done that, then I want to do the sentiment, which is the For You. I've already got it mounted here. I prefer not to put the stickers on. I just find it's a lot more clingy if I don't have the stickers on the rubber. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with my Stamp-a-Majig, because even though I have my Stamparatus, I find with the rubber stamps that I still prefer to use the Stamp-a-Majig. Now, I won't confuse you in case you haven't used one of these before. So what it's doing is basically I'm using the clear like acetate on the corner of this. So it's lined up right to the corner. Then I'm going to stamp this in the corner. So I'm using this as a guide. Now it's telling me exactly where this sentiment is going to land when I put this right in the corner, right? So if I follow the same principle, it's a little bit tricky when using the Stamp-a-Majig for the first time. But I'm looking completely at this. I'm not looking at the plastic. I'm not looking at my card. I'm just looking at the words and are they lined up in a place that I'm happy with. So once I've decided that yes, that's a good spot for you, then I come back again with my tool right in the corner of the plastic, but then I remove the plastic because it's telling me when I stamp with this, it's going to go right there where that image is. So I move that out of the way so that now I can stamp my image where I wanted it, where it told me it was going to go. Isn't that cool? So then I come in and cut, and I worked out that a good measurement is 5 centimeters by 10. And that gives it a nice cut there. Ta-da! Then I'm going to do the Wisteria Wonder. So I've done it at 5 centimeters. So what I'm going to do, actually, what's this measurement here? Yes, I can do it that way. So I'm going to do it 3 millimeters more. So that's 5.3 millimeters. And then I'm going to do 10.3. So I just wanted to make sure I had enough this way to be able to go up that side. So I'm coming downwards. I find coming downwards, if I have only a little bit to cut, I find coming downwards is a lot easier. So that's that layer. And then again, I'm going to come in with the smoky slate and with the same measurement, but I want to go to 10.6. Yep, that looks good there. And then 5.6, 3 millimeters more, which I think is about 1/16 of an inch in inches. So anyway, that's my layers. So we'll move that out of the way because it's a little bit reflecting the light a little bit. And then we're going to be layering it on our base. So very simply, I'm going to glue those together. I prefer Tombow glue for my adhesive of choice. I know everyone's different. Some people love the tape, but for me, I find this is a lot easier when working in small measurements, because then I can come in and sort of move it around until it looks happy. Yay! If I tried to eyeball that, I would totally stick it in the wrong place, end up ripping it, pulling it up. Disaster. Anyway, it works for me. Some people work that snail adhesive really well, but I'm not one of them. So we'll move all that out of the way. Then we're going to put it on dimensionals, of course. Everyone knows that Bruno and I are in love with dimensionals. Bruno a little more than me. He uses way more than me. Although I think in relation to most, I use a lot too. Yes, 2 on that side too. Don't freak out. I don't know why we hoard all our supplies. Use them. I give you permission to buy more. No point sitting in the cupboard never getting used, right? So peel all those off. And then I'm going to come in and use my grid paper. I'll just lift this up so you can see the bottom. There we go. Can you see the bottom there? Yes, there we go. So what I like to do is just move over a little bit. So I've got 1 cube there. And then I'll just eyeball. Looking at my grid paper, I can see from the top that there's 4 squares before it hits the top of this. And then if I look from the bottom, it's about 4 squares as well. So that'll give me a good guide of where I want to stick. And then on the side, I can just eyeball from below, looking at my grid, and just get a good idea of where it is in the middle. It's probably a little bit, needs to be a bit that way, but anyway, you get the idea. Of course I put ink on it. Pretend that wasn't there. Look at what that thumb did. Anyway, it happens. We'll call it rustic. Now we'll come in with our pearls and do a couple of pearls, and then I use the snips with my pearls. I'm just going to close this for all those people out there who are freaking out about my ink being open. I'm sorry for that mess. Look at that. That is a well-used ink pad. I'm like, yep, that'll do. I need to wipe it down with some alcohol wipes. So just come in with my snips and just come underneath. It just helps me to lift it up. And then I can put a little one there, a bigger one there. I wonder if we can do a little cover up over here so it doesn't look as bad. Ooh, I reckon we can. That looks much better. Don't you love those little accidents that occur? And now I always like to work in odd numbers, so I'm going to do 5 of these. So it's a little bit more than what I put in my last one, but I think that's done the job at covering that up. You wouldn't even know I was there with my little thumb. So that'll give you an idea of the cards, but all of you know that I love decorating the inside as well. So what I did was cut down some smoky slate and whisper white. I've done the smoky slate just 3 millimeters lower than the size, so 14.6 by, actually is it? Yeah, 0.3 of a millimeter. So 14.6 by 10.2 is that size. And then this is 3 millimeters again lower. So 9.9 by 14.3. And I'm just going to stamp some beautiful wisteria on here, Wisteria Wonder. And just stamp it in the corner. Ta-da! And then we'll glue that down onto there. I'll just use a very light amount. I try not to get the little blobby bits like that there. You can always smush them out with the nib. But I've never found that it warps or anything like that with this glue. It's beautiful glue. The only thing I miss is the adhesive remover. Somehow, we don't know how, but somehow I have lost my adhesive remover. And I must find a way to get it back again. I know Stampin' Up! Don't stop it anymore, which makes me sad. But these things happen. Hopefully it'll come back one day to revisit us. I'll put it in the sandbox. Please bring adhesive remover back again. I miss it. And there you have it. So that is our Wisteria Wonder, Powder Pink, and Smoky Slate. Don't they look gorgeous? So if you need any help at all with your Stampin' Up! Supplies, if you live in Australia, I would love to look after you and help you out with any questions you might have in regards to Stampin' Up! And Sale-a-Bration. And I'm sure I'll be back very soon with some more videos, particularly like these ones. And let me know which one's your favourite colour. I'd love to see. Thanks for putting a comment below and for watching my video today. See you everyone. Bye.